What's up, guys? This is Showtime's Fight Forum. Obviously, I'm your boy, Showtime. Please follow me on social media at Showtime Sanders. Love to talk fights all day. Also, please subscribe, like, and all that good stuff. Thank you guys for watching. Man. It was a fun weekend. Today is going to be a little different, just a little bit, because we're going to be talking boxing and we're talking MMA. I'm very MMA heavy because I'm not gonna say my passion is more aligned with MMA, but MMA is like more so my first love of combat sports. So I mean, yeah, that's the thing I go heavy. But I do love me some good boxing. And this past weekend we had a very fun fight in Andy Ruiz, who fought Chris Arreola. I mean, man, that was a very, very, very interesting fight, man. If you didn't know, Andy lost so much weight. I mean, homie, from when he fought Anthony Joshua into what he is now, like, man, the boy was in shape. Switched camps, and home, everybody was like looking forward to this. It's like, oh, we got a more in shape version of Andy Ruiz. What we about to see? I mean, he beat Anthony Joshua with the daggone Snickers belly. Now he out here working out. What we gonna see? Let's go. I'm not gonna say that he didn't live up to the expectations that his body was showing, but I mean, the fight was fun. Andy did look good. It's just, we did expect, and at least I'll say I expected him to finish the fight and also for him to look a little better. He did get rocked, did get dropped in the beginning of the fight, did struggle. But, I don't know. Maybe it's just, the Hispanic blood in him. And it's just like one of those, I have to get my bell rung for me to really show up. I mean, we saw it with Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua dropped him. And then the next thing you know, he dropped him. And I mean, the same fight didn't really happen because, Chris ain't no punk. Chris was like, yeah, you coming back, but I'm still going to give you that work afterwards. And it was a competitive fight. I did think, Andy not cruise control, but I did think that he won the fight. I mean, it was pretty easily he won. He looked very good. But, I mean, we don't necessarily know what we're going to get next for him. So, I mean, one thing I do want in the comments is, tell me who you guys think Andy should fight next. I heard him say he would love a rematch. I guess to make it clear, like, nah, man, that fight was, way too competitive. I'm way better than that. I did battle some injuries. I don't think he should do that. Personally, what I think he should move on and fight somebody else. Who I would love to see is see him fight either a Deontay Wilder or see him fight Usyk. I think both guys are honestly better than him. But if he wants to fight, the best of the best, I mean, bro, these are the competitions. These are the people you need to go. Deontay Wilder don't have anybody. I mean, and that's saying, if Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury doesn't fight. I mean, if they do in fact fight, which we hope they do, because that's the fight that needs to be made. And we know boxing, they don't like to make the fights that we all want. So please, hopefully, that is the fight that we get. But outside of that, I would love to see Andy Ruiz fighting a Deontay Wilder. It's definitely a winnable fight for Deontay, and it's a very winnable fight as well for Andy. We know Andy can get rocked by anybody. We've seen him get rocked a few times, and we know Deontay Wilder, he's not going to rock you. He's just going to sleep you. So, I mean, it's fun. But one thing about Hispanics, man, when you box those Hispanics, hey, they got a good chin, and they like to get up. So, once again, interesting fight, fun fight. The next fight I want to talk about is going to be MMA. All right, so that one was Jerry fighting Dominic Reyes. People who don't know about Dominic Reyes, he was the guy that everybody said, well, not everybody, most people say beat Jon Jones in Jon Jones' last title fight. He looked amazing versus Jon Jones, but he hasn't looked good since. He went against Jon, and Jon completely dismantled him. Broke his nose and knocked him out in the second round. So now he's fighting Jerry. Jerry is a light heavyweight champion from Risen, which is another program. I think they were bought off from Pride and things like that. Jerry's a wild boy. And when that fight got announced, I was like, okay, I'm interested. This is going to be fun. This is a winnable fight for both men. But when I saw this video, I knew it was a wrap. I knew it was done. I was like, oh no, Jerry's going to knock him out. This man's crazy. He's a psychopath. Then I saw his hair for that fight. I was like, he's a dead man now. I was like, when is it gonna end? I already know Jerry gonna win, but the fight was fun, man. Like Jerry, but they both look good actually. Dominic Reyes looked like very good. He did like he was crumbling under the pressure that Jerry was getting, because he's a madman. Like that, the hair and the yelling, all that's his fighting style. That's how he fights. And to top it off, he had the most highlight reel knockout of the year, possibly. Like I already said, Usman with the solar system punch, the Big Bang or whatever you want to call that punch that he hit on Jorge. I thought that was gonna be very tough to beat for knockout of the year. But this jury knockout, in my opinion, just smokes it. Like smokes it. But yeah, so Jerry looks good, man. He's definitely next in line outside of Glover, fighting for the championship. I'm very excited to see how he's gonna look versus John. I think he matches up really well with him as well. He has extremely long arms. I think 80-inch reach. Oh man, he can punch you from all angles. Homie is very reckless, and you can knock him out. But he can knock you out too. So it's gonna be fun. I'm going in the future. But the talk really in this situation is actually Jon Jones. Like it's crazy. Like what Jon Jones got to do with this? Everything. Jon Jones was his last title fight. I mean, Dominic Reyes was his last title fight. And let's be realistic. If you look at Jon Jones' last 4 fights, they've aged like milk. They have not aged well at all. I believe out of the last 4, you combine their records have been 3-8. And all 3 wins have came from one person, and that's Anthony Smith. Everybody else has not won a single fight since fighting Jon Jones. Now, some people could say, "Oh, that means Jon Jones broke them, and they haven't been the same ever since." That's BS. I don't believe that because the only person that out of those last 4 that Jon Jones was genuinely dominant in was Anthony Smith, who has gotten wins, and not Glover, but Alexander Gustafsson. I mean, he wasn't dominant versus Thiago. He damn sure wasn't dominant versus Dominic. So it's starting to look like basically what I said before, which is Jon Jones is genuinely just declining. He's winning, but he's skating by. Who knows? Maybe he's bored. Maybe he just doesn't see these guys as threats because he is cocky enough to believe that. But man, I'm telling you right now, if he fights like how he fought Dominic Reyes versus Francis Ngannou, it's not only is he gonna get knocked out, he's going to get a legendary knockout. It's gonna be bad because I've not seen Francis knock anybody out that has not been a highlight reel knockout. So it's gonna be bad. I'm very, very interested to see the fight happen. Hopefully it does get made so we can see a very motivated, because if he's not motivated fighting Francis, he'll never be motivated doing anything because Francis is the scariest man alive right now, bar none. But yeah, and I'm like, if he does get knocked out once again, it's gonna be like Ali, the movie Ali. He's gonna be put in the movie with as the being known as the great big goddess. I mean, I said goddess, the great big god. And Francis came from being homeless and being an underdog to slaying the giant. Jon Jones don't want that. So like I said, we're gonna definitely get a motivated Jon if these dudes do fight. But yeah, so that's how I felt about the UFC fight. Now the fight that really really matters this week, ding 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 ding, the pound for pound champion of the world in boxing is fighting this week. Canelo Alvarez is fighting Billy Joe Saunders in DAZN. I'm so happy because I got a membership there. It's so freaking dope. I'm so excited to see this fight. It's going to be fun. Billy Joe's undefeated. He's 30-0. So he's never lost. So he's by far, I think, not gonna say by far, but he's definitely the toughest competition I think that Canelo's had in a little bit of time. He's very, very awkward. He's a southpaw. He is, he's not the biggest power punchers. He got 14 knockouts, but he's slick. Got good footwork. It's a very interesting fight. Now Canelo, we all know, pound for pound king. If you don't think so, you're just honestly being stupid. He is the best in the world. He's 58-1-2, 37 knockouts. I mean, phenomenal fighter. Like he's gonna go down as an all-time great in my opinion. I don't know if he's gonna be top 10 and all that, but I'm just saying he's definitely gonna be an all-time great when it's all said and done. And I just want to break down this fight a little bit. So Billy Joel, some people are not really giving him a real shot. He obviously has a shot. Anybody has a shot in the square circle. But here's my keys to victory for this guy. One, Canelo does struggle with fighters that have great footwork. You look at Lara, you look at Floyd Mayweather, you look at Triple G. These guys got good footwork. They also have really good jabs. And one thing we all know is that Canelo has phenomenal head movement. All right. But a jab can honestly defeat good head movement. So I do believe he needs to work his jab. He also has to. He's good. He has good footwork, but that is going to be the key to victory. Stay away from the ropes. Do not get on the ropes, because if you're on the ropes with Canelo, Canelo will beat the brakes off of you. And we all know Canelo has power. He knocked out light heavyweights, so he can damn sure knock out Billy Joel. So stay away from the ropes. Stay in the middle of the circle as much as you can. Another one. You're going to have to demand respect from Canelo. Canelo has gotten to the point now where he does not fear anybody. I think after that first Triple G fight and he didn't get hurt and he didn't get rocked, homie was just like, "Oh, I'm fine, bro. Like, I'm not scared of none of you dudes." And he just walks everybody down. It's It's now to the point of cockiness. Homie really does not. He doesn't fear anybody, and he shouldn't. He's Canelo. But at the same time, that does bring holes to your game, and I do believe that Billy Joel, even though he doesn't have that much power, he's gonna have to sit down on his punches to demand respect from Canelo. Because Canelo don't respect you, it's gonna be a wrap, and he's gonna probably knock you out in 5. What's another one? Use the jab. Now Canelo. For Canelo to win, he just needs to be Canelo. Be the best in the world, man. Do what you do. All right. It, it's your world, bro. You are now the king of boxing. Just be yourself. It's gonna be like, oh well, that's not that descriptive. He doesn't. It's Canelo. What are you gonna do? Like he can walk you down. He has great head movement. We all know his power in the shots. He's gonna work the body, and I do think Billy Joe also needs to work the body because trying to hit Canelo in the face is not the easiest of tasks. Go for the body and try to wear him on a little bit. Try to get some cardio. Canelo, stay in the circle. Billy Joe will try to run a little bit. Stay your ground. I don't think you need to follow him. Just stay in the middle of the circle. Make him come to you. Counterbox. Boop, knock him out. It's a wrap. If you had to ask me my prediction, I'm gonna say TKO or KO by the 6th round, and Canelo's gonna be and still, and then we're gonna move on talking about Canelo's other fights. But that's basically all I have for today as far as my breakdown for last week and for the fights this weekend. Tell me, guys, what you think. Who do you want Canelo to fight next if he does win? And do you really give Billy Joel a real shot? And lastly, Jon Jones. Do you guys think he's washed? Do you really think that this is an indictment of him being washed? Or do you think it's just these guys are just not the same after fighting Jon Jones? Follow me once again. Please comment. Thank you guys for everything. I appreciate you guys. Be blessed.